And in my one-on-one segment tonight, the party's over for the parents of a high school football player who allowed a stripper at their 17-year-old son's preseason bash. Police in Chappaqua, you know what that is, in New York, went to the house after receiving a complaint about noise and found a naked stripper performing for 50 high schoolers in attendance. Police also report that there was pot and beer at the party and that some of the students were engaging in lewd acts with the stripper. The parents were arrested, but so far the stripper hasn't been charged, but she could. And joining us now is the owner of Gorgeous Strippers Plus, Anthony, you call yourself Cousin Vinny?
Cousin Vinny.
Agnello, who sent the stripper to the party. I'm going to say right up front, I don't blame you. This is a legal business. I don't agree with your business. We'll get into that in a minute here, but I don't blame you. What do you think about parents that would put kids in a position where, you know, 15-year-old kids at this party?
Well, you know something, I think what happened, this is the story I got from the female stripper. I remember I was not on hand at that on that night, but I'm in very
You like to repeat that a lot, I noticed.
But I'm in very direct, I have a direct relationship with the girl who was there.
Yeah, you're her boss.
Absolutely. Now, she told me that what originally, as far as she was concerned, was meant to be a party that only the seniors on the football team was supposed to attend. A lot of the
seniors are underage. A lot of
some
seniors.
of them are, maybe.
Well, some of them are,
But anyway,
maybe.
the underclassmen, she told me that I guess a lot of the underclassmen got word of the party and then decided to show up and brought girls.
She's there. She goes to the party. What is your policy? This is not the first time this has probably happened.
No, it's it's the first time we've ever been on the national TV over this whole thing. Okay.
But you see, I look at this as just more evidence of a declining standard in society, and that's a whole different issue, and we'll get into that. But do you have a problem with it that one of your strippers was at a party performing for 15-year-old kids? Does that bother you?
Honestly,
no. It doesn't.
Probably not. Well, you know something. Legally, of course, I wouldn't. If I had known that they were underage kids, obviously, I answer the phone. I send people out. I have no clue.
You're in business to make money. I mean,
I have no clue from you. When you call on the phone to me, I don't know how old you are. I mean, I can tell you your age.
But you know now the facts after the case.
Right.
And you know it doesn't bother you. You really don't care, do you?
Well, I have an 18-year-old son, and when he's
probably met many of the girls that work for you.
He sure has, and he's extremely well-adjusted.
You and I have different moral values, and we can sit here all night and debate all that. But the fact is, you know, I think there are laws in place, and obviously you can have this business because it's legal.
Correct.
But are there no laws that hold you responsible like they would hold responsible the owner of a supermarket for selling beer to somebody underage? Don't you have a responsibility as the owner of the club that makes sure
to make sure? Well, I'm not a club. We're not an owner of a club.
The owner of this service.
Of the service that comes.
Don't you have an obligation to see to it that the kids don't?
Well, do I have an obligation? Obviously, I have an obligation to screen as best as I possibly can.
But
also,
shouldn't you have a policy? Shouldn't you have a policy that if you go to a party and these kids look underage, and in this particular case it was pretty obvious that you should card these kids?
Well, I think you're correct.
And then turn around and go home.
I think you're correct. I think that the Gorgeous Strippers Plus Entertainment Agency will, in the future from now on, if it looks questionable, card the people when they come in, and let's say we do run into a situation with underage kids that are there. If there are kids that are over 18 there, we'll put them in the main party room.
But with that said, the parents were there. We'll pick it up here when we get back.
Well, that's the difference. That is what.
Right, hang on. We'll pick it up there. We'll continue on the other side of the break as we continue on Hannity and Combs. Remember, log on to FoxNews.com. You can become a Fox fan, and we'll continue. As we continue on Hannity and Combs, I'm Sean Hannity. All right, Anthony, I want to go back to you. The parents were there.
That was the difference. That's the main difference. The girl came in and she saw questionable age groups, okay?
Right.
But she turned around and there was a football party. Wasn't she, you know, a lot of kids, young kids look older these days, you know. I mean, remember, young kids try to look older. But when she saw the parents there, and, you know, like an R-rated movie, hey, under 17 not admitted without your parents.
Right. How many?
Well, your parents are there, so, hey, let's put on a show, okay? I mean, you got to remember something. The girls I have working for me some of them aren't brain surgeons, okay?
Really?
And some of them are.
That's shocking.
It's shocking, okay? And you know, I think what she did is.
All right, we were sort of rehashing old ground here. Let me ask you a question. Would you want your daughter to do what you hired these girls to do?
I hope God never gives me a daughter.
Would you? But if you had one, you have a son you mentioned. Would you want your daughter to do this?
I hope that
you already gave your answer.
I hope
the answer's no.
Right. I hope I make a good enough living in life that she wouldn't have to.
Why wouldn't you want your daughter doing what you hire these girls to do?
Because of financial circumstances.
It's a crummy business, right?
It's not. It's
beneath. It would be beneath your daughter's dignity, wouldn't it?
But it wasn't beneath her father's dignity.
But it would be. Well, you're not taking your clothes off. You hired somebody else to do it.
I did take my clothes off for 13 years.
You did.
Absolutely.
You just shocked Alan Combs.
I was the top male stripper in the country in the mid-'80s. I was in Super Teen magazine.
Would you want your son to do that?
Yes. I love my son. In fact,
you and I will never agree on moral issues, but and I can see, but the reason you wouldn't want your daughter to do it because you'd feel it would be beneath her dignity, wouldn't you?
What the thing is
but you're doing that to these girls.
It's a double standard, okay? The male stripping business has a much milder connotation, and people say more severe things about people in the female.
Is it much different from being like a pimp, in as much as you're just selling these other women to go do the work and you get a big cut? What's the difference?
Well, the difference is that you're not selling sex, okay? You're selling the simulation of sex. So, you know, that's. Hey,
from what I read, this girl was involved into this party is about as close as you can get.
Yeah, but it was simulated. I mean, it was nobody. I don't think anybody got the rocks off, Sean.
Well,
maybe you never know.
Let me ask you this question though. But how many women do you send out on any given night?
On a good weekend, we probably send out 10, maybe 12, and probably 3 or 4 different crews.
All right, we got to take a break.
Thanks for being with us. I blame the parents. I think the parents let that happen.
I think they made poor judgment.
Thanks, Anthony.
I'd change the laws,
as we told you at the beginning of the show tonight.